If you're tired of shooting inconsistently in 2K26, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 secrets that's going to help you be able to shoot more consistently every time you take your shot. So let me go ahead and show you here how I'm able to go ahead and consistently shoot over 70% from the three-point line, regardless of what patch 2K drops. Because if you understand these 5 things that I'm going to share with you, some of them you can control, some of them you can't, but a lot of it is about understanding how the game truly works. So the first thing that I want to kind of talk to you about is that playing and shooting as a PG or shooting as a 2 through the 5 is completely different. In this video, I'm going to focus in on if you play the 2 to the 5 more as a spot-up shooter, a catch-and-shoot shooter, because this is going to allow you to be able to shoot consistently if you understand these things here. So the first thing you want to understand is that there's 2 shots you need to master, hands down, okay? And this I'm going to show you here. The first one is going to be, of course, the spot-up shot, right? You need to be able to hit this. Now, you may be a person that shoots with the X button, or you may be a person that shoots with rhythm. Now, there's nothing wrong with either or, okay? But I would encourage you that if you have the flexibility to go a little bit more with rhythm, because it's going to allow you to be able to shoot more consistently. However, I also can green with the shot button, so that's totally fine. But in a little bit, I'll show you some little settings that are a little bit different if you're rhythm shooting versus an X shooter, okay? I shoot with rhythm, and that's what allows me to be able to shoot consistently. Now, the first shot that I mentioned was the standstill shot, okay? The second shot you need to master is the midi fade, okay? Those are the 2 shots you need to have in your bag to be able to go ahead and hit. Again, standstill, spot up, you need to hit those, and then you need to be able to hit the midi fade consistently, okay? If you understand how to hit those 2 shots and you practice those shots, you would instantly, again, score more points and shoot more consistently. Now, here's the 2 things you need to understand about how shooting works. Number 1, your stamina plays a role into how effective of a shooter you're going to be, unless you have takeover, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. Now, the more stamina you have, okay, the more the blue line is, the more adrenaline you have, the better your shot is going to be, or should I say, the more consistent your shot is going to be. And the reason why I say this is because the less stamina you have, the slower your shot's going to be, which means people are going to be able to contest you. So you want to kind of keep that in mind as you're going through this process, okay? The second thing you want to understand is you need to understand how the contest system works, okay? You need to be able to jump. Hands up defense will give you a contest, but it won't negate the fact of you being able to make the shot. A jump does that. So when you're a spot-up shooter, remember, the 2 to the 5, you're not the PG. The most important thing that you need to focus on is looking at your defender. You should not be looking at what your PG's doing. You should not be looking at what anybody else is doing. You need to just focus on your individual defender. And here's why I say this, okay? If there is a space between you and the defender, meaning that a player can fit between both of you, that means that you are open, okay? That means that you are open. How many times somebody passed you the shot, they're like, oh, you should have shot. Then you're like, hey, I wasn't open. That's because you're not looking at your defender. You need to stay locked in on the defender to be able to go ahead and hit your shots, right? Now, there is a mechanic in 2K26 that allows you to be able to speed up your shot, making it almost impossible for somebody to hedge off of you. However, most defenders hedge off. So this is going to be to your advantage. Now, you do not need to use this to shoot over 70% from the 3, but it is something to have in your bag. Now, the way that you do this, okay, is going to be by hitting L2, okay? That's on Xbox, that's on PlayStation. If you hold that, it's going to allow you to do something called a no-dip shot. What this means is that when you catch the ball, you're going to be able to shoot it at the top of the arc, meaning that it's going to be a faster shot. So if I hold it, and I get the ball, you can see here that the shot is going to happen a lot faster. So this is going to be great if you're in the corner, if you're on the hash, and your defenders maybe not giving you that space that you need. But remember, okay, if they don't jump, it's pretty much almost not a contest. So you just need to understand that. So the big rule of thumb here is understanding that if your defender, if somebody can fit between you and the defender, you're open. Take the shot. Your PG will thank you, okay? The other thing that you need to understand, okay, and again, I'm trying to show you how to be able to shoot effectively, but also score effectively, okay? when you're playing the 2 to the 5 and you're spotting up and ready to shoot, the thing that you want to be able to think about is you need to know what you're going to do before you even get the ball. So here's the 3 things that I think about when I'm playing that 2 through the 5, okay? Number 1, if my defender is far enough for me where somebody can fit between us, I'm taking the shot. If my defender is close enough to where they are going to be able to contest me if I shoot, I'm going to go for the midi fade. If they're hugging me, okay, and I can't go ahead and catch the ball, go for the midi, I'm either going to go for the cut or I'm going to get ready to pass to the open man on my team. If you think about that and you only look at your defender, you're automatically going to start shooting better, okay? Especially if you master these shots. Now, let's talk about the things that affect shooting as a whole, okay? Because just knowing those tactics there are not going to be the thing that's going to make you a knockdown shooter. However, it will make you a more elite shooter on the court once you apply these things that I'm going to show you here now, okay? So the first thing that you need to understand here, okay, is that you need to understand your settings, okay? And the biggest thing that you want to be able to look at here is shot timing on, layup timing on, and free throw timing on. Now, I mentioned that if you shoot with the button, release timing here plays a role. Okay, now when you make a custom jump shot, that overpowers this, but if you shoot with rhythm, none of this matters. Okay, this is why I say rhythm is a better shot. And if you're struggling to learn how to shoot with the rhythm, all I encourage you to do is to come in here, make sure that you go to your kiosk, press online, and just take 100 shots. I guarantee you that if you do that for an hour, you'll naturally feel comfortable shooting with the rhythm, and that's automatically going to help you shoot so much better. Okay, but here's the thing that I want you to understand here. You want to remove your shot meter as much as you possibly can. So what you want to do is you want to come here to your customized HUD. You want to go to shot meter, and you want to make sure that visibility for shot is off, visibility for layup is off, and visibility layup for free throw is off as well. This is super important here, okay? Because when you have a meter, it adds a little bit of latency. And what you want to do is that in the beginning, if you want to use your meter to learn the shot, cool. But the minute you understand the shot, you need to remove it, because what's going to happen is that it's going to open up your green window just a little bit. And even if just a little bit, it helps you green more shots, okay? So let's talk about the most important thing here, the 3-point rating. Okay, so for your 3-point rating, here is the lowest 3-point rating that I would go with on a build to still be a knockdown shooter, okay? 79 is the lowest 3-ball, me personally, that I feel is the lowest you should go to be able to still shoot from the hash, to be able to shoot from the corner, to still be able to shoot consistently across the board, okay? 79 and up, you should be golden, okay? But that's one aspect of it. The next thing is understanding the 2 to 3 badges that matter the most when it comes to shooting, okay? And that is going to be shot specialist. Shot specialist is going to allow you to knock down shots hands down, okay? Regardless of where you got it at, even if you got it at silver, if you got it at gold, if you got a Hall of Fame, obviously you want to get set shot as high as you possibly can. Hall of Fame to legend is always going to be the best opportunity. But again, this is the best shooting badge in the game. So if you're shooting inconsistently, it's because you maybe don't have set shot at a higher clip. Okay, that's going to be the first one. The second one that you're going to want to have is going to be Deadeye. Deadeye is another badge that you're going to want to have, again, because just in case the defender tries to close out, this is going to go ahead and reduce that contest as much as possible, giving you a higher chance to be able to make that shot. But if you're looking at your defender, you're going to know when you're open. So this is just a just-in-case badge. Then you want to have Shifty Shooter. Regardless of the patch, regardless of drifts being nerfed, it doesn't matter. This allows you to be able to shoot even if you just make a dribble, put the ball down when you can't. Like, it's just a badge you want to have inside of your bag. Limitless range doesn't really matter too much. If you can get it on bronze, you can get it on silver, that's going to be good enough. But the biggest badges you want to have is Set Shot Specialist and Deadeye, okay? Now, once you have those badges, and we've now had our jump shot, the next thing that you want to make sure that you're doing here is you want to make sure that you have your hot zones. This is super important. And right now you can see that these are just red. But there's another level for you to be able to get that, and that is lethal. So let me show you what you want to be able to do here. So when you come to lethal shooter, okay, you're going to want to select 3 zones, okay? And what you're going to want to think about here, okay, and I'm going to show you the hack of how to maximize this, okay? So you don't want to just put this in random spots. What you want to do is you want to take care of a whole side. So what I mean by this, okay, is that you're going to want to, whether you shoot on the left side or the right side, it doesn't matter. You just need to pick a side. So let me show you this, what I mean here. Okay, so what I like to do is that I like to play on the right side most of the time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that you want to make sure you cover the hash and the corner. Why? Because you can see that they combine together, giving you that full flexibility of being able to be anywhere in that facility to be able to get that. And then what I want to do is that, because remember, I talked about here that you want to think about, I want to get really good at doing the mini phase and I want to get really good at spotting up. Okay, so if I play on the right side, I'm not going to go ahead and do the left hash or the left corner. Okay, I'm okay with those being red. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and get this midi down. So now I'm encompassing this whole right side, giving me a higher opportunity to be able to make these shots. It doesn't matter if I slide up and take a 2. It doesn't matter if I back up. This whole area is going to be purple for me, giving me a bigger scope and more room to take shots. So let me show you what that looks like once you go ahead and get the lethal. So once you go ahead and get the lethals, you're going to see here that these are going to turn purple here for me, right? So, but I want to show you just how powerful this really is, right? So take a look at this. Once we come here and I can show you these hot zones, here's what I want you to be able to see, okay? Do you see where all this purple is at and how much flexibility now you have to be able to shoot this lethal? Meaning that you can be sitting right here, and if you just had it on the corner, now you're out of the lethal zone. But now you have way more room to be able to shoot lethal. You now have this section here. So if you're coming down the court, okay, and you want to be able to drift, now you know you're going to be able to hit that. If you're sitting here and you want to come and slide forward, right, you know now you have that lethal zone. So what I'm trying to teach you is that you need to understand how to leverage these abilities of what you have available to you to the best of your ability. But here's the biggest thing that you need to worry about. Just because you've done everything that I'm telling you here, if you have the wrong jump shot, you're still going to be able to go ahead and claim. So let me show you something that I want you to see here and to see the difference between having a okay jump shot and having the right jump shot for your build and that you're accustomed to. Let me show you that here in just a moment. Okay, so take a look at this. This is a really good jump shot, right? Scottie Pippen, Matt Ryan, David West, everything is there what I need. You can see here that I need to have a 79 3 ball. This is a great shot, okay? This is a great shot. However, here's what I want you to be able to see, okay? Having just a great shot is not going to mean you're going to be a knockdown shooter. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're going online, so that way when you're shooting, you can see here, right? So, okay, you can see that went in, right? And it's an okay shot, okay? But what I want you to see is that is an okay shot. And that right there may allow me to be able to still shoot at a higher clip, but it's not the perfect shot for this build. It's not the perfect shot for my timing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here and just take a look at the shot, this one here. It's almost exactly the same base, just different upper releases and releases too, but everything else is exactly the same, okay? This is the difference between having an okay shot and having an incredible shot that allows you to be able to shoot at a higher consistency. Not only is this a faster shot, not only am I able to green this faster, okay, but you want to see here that this is now giving me a better consistent shot. So the biggest thing that you want to be able to do is you want to understand that you want to do everything that I went ahead and showed you, but you also want to have the right shot for your build. You may have an okay shot right now, but you need an incredible shot to be able to shoot consistently, especially with latency. So go ahead and watch this video right here where I share with you 11 jump shots that are the best in the game. One of them is guaranteed to be the jump shot for you that's going to take your jump shot to the next level. Click that video right there, and I'll see you in the next one.